Hi, I'm your host, Brittany Caldwell, and I thank you for joining us on Becoming, a show where we encourage, inspire, and motivate women to become all that God has created us to be. And one of the ways that we do this is through sharing our stories of hope, perseverance, setbacks, and victories. And today's guest, who will be sharing her story, is Dr. Tameka Attaway. Tameka, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Having me.
So Tameka and I go way back. We've known each other since high school, and we've always encouraged and inspired each other to just pursue our dreams, and we continue to do that today. Mm-hmm. So what I love about Tameka's story is that it is one of perseverance. She is a dentist and the proud owner of Serenity Family Dentistry in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just love her zeal and tenacity to go after the things that God has placed on her heart. So you'll get to hear all about her story today. So Tameka, if you could just start by sharing what led you to go into dentistry, and is that something you've always wanted to do?
I would say I definitely realized it at an early age, probably middle school. I always enjoyed going to the dentist. My parents started taking us, my brother and I, to the dentist at a very young age. They were always very nice. We always got a toy at the end, so life was good. I really enjoyed going. With that, also, I wanted to be a hygienist at first. So I would go into the office, come out, and I always talk about, okay, I want to be a hygienist. And so one day, leaving the dental office with my family, I said the same thing. I'm looking forward to being a hygienist. I want to be one. I can't wait. And my mom said something interesting. She said, hygiene is great, but why not be the dentist? And so I just remember pausing, sitting in the car thinking about it, because I had never seen a dentist that looked like me. The hygienist did. And so that's what I was more drawn to. And so being the dentist wasn't even on my radar until she said it. But after that, at that point, I said, yeah, you're right. I want to be a dentist. So
right.
That's kind of how it started when I was in middle school.
Yeah. And I know that you mentioned too, you had a heart for helping people who maybe did not have access to dentistry.
Yes.
Okay.
And so with that, I just knew with my experience that wasn't everyone else's experience. Just talking to friends and even people within my family where it wasn't a priority for them, or they just didn't have the access to care. And so I wanted to change that. So that became a priority for me.
Wow. That's amazing. And then, so how did you start preparing for that? Like when you were in high school, did you have a plan? I know I'm going to do this right after high school and then go into dental school. What was that like for you?
So I knew, like I said, in middle school that I wanted to do it, but in high school, I kind of just started getting my feet wet. I had another friend who was interested in dentistry, and she had this big book. So we would read that, just learn as much as we could. And I was also involved with HOSA, which is a healthcare organization for high school students. And my instructor knew that I was interested in dentistry, so she kind of put me on that track. So I was the dental person. So I was able to learn a lot of dental terminology, dental anatomy, things about dentistry in general in high school. But it wasn't until undergrad that I really just dived in and learned as much as I could. Very involved in undergraduate healthcare organizations, any programs they offered at the dental school. I was there because I was blessed to go to UNC Chapel Hill. We had the only dental school in North Carolina at the time. So I worked right next door to the dental school.
Wow.
So it made it easy to, go over there, meet faculty, shadow, all of that good stuff, and take advantage of the programs they offered to prepare you for dental school.
Okay, yeah, so you're really preparing yourself. Yeah, especially in undergrad. So after undergrad, was your plan to go immediately into dental school? And how did that look for you?
So going into college, that was the plan, do undergrad 4 years, graduate, go right into dental school another 4 years. But the summer before my senior year, I just kind of had to have a heart-to-heart with myself and say, hey, am I really truly ready for dental school at this time? And I, came to the conclusion, let me take some more science courses. I had a few challenging courses in undergrad, and I just felt like, okay, I want to put my best foot forward. I want to take more science courses to better prepare myself for dental school and show myself, as well as programs, that I can really handle the rigors of dental school. So it was a tough decision because I had a lot of friends applying to their programs that summer, medical school, law school, so it was hard, but I had to do what was best for me.
So you didn't go immediately into dental school, so you were just preparing yourself.
Yes.
And then at the application process, so what was that like when you decided, okay, I'm ready to go?
Applying, it was fun. It was an experience. I actually had 3 years time between the time I graduated from undergrad and when I started dental school. And during that time, I worked. I did a program at UNC Charlotte where I did take those upper level science courses, and that went really well. And just really prepared myself. I actually applied during that time, and I didn't get in. So I had to regroup. What else can I do? What else do I need to do? And so with that, I also just it just really drew me to God a little bit, just even more, because it showed me just that divine intervention, that there are no coincidences, because I used to go through the yellow pages and look for dentists to shadow. And so I called one office. She was a pediatric dentist. I thought I was interested in pediatric dentistry. And she said, yeah, you can come in. So I went in and she asked me about this program. It's called the MED program. She said, have you heard of it? I said, yes, I have, but I truly did not want to do it. I said, I'm working. I don't want to have to go spend my summer doing a program. But she had done it. And she said, you need to do it. She looked at the application right there in her office and said, it's open. You need to apply. And so I reluctantly did. And I'm glad I did, because it led me to dental school.
Wow.
It was a great opportunity, and that whole experience just showed me, okay, this is where you need to be. I took all the courses I would take my first year of dental school in that summer program. I was able to do my interviews. One of my interviews was with the dean of admissions of the dental school. So it really just put me in a position to do that. But if I hadn't gone through the yellow pages and found her name, if I had not been there at that time with that dentist, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And two things I want to point out in your story that I love is that how just because you didn't get accepted into dental school, you didn't take that no as a no from God. It was no, maybe not at this time.
Right.
Maybe there's other areas I need to work on, prepare myself first. But you didn't stop. You didn't quit. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Keep going. And then also, you did your research to try to get the help that you needed by finding someone to shadow.
Yeah.
So you didn't just say, okay, well, I'm not going to get in. I'll just wait and then reapply. But you put in the work between applying again. So that's wonderful. And then so when you applied again to dental school, you got in. And where did you go, and what was that experience like when you got into dental school?
So I went to UNC Chapel Hill, which is where I also went to undergrad. And like I said, that MED program, I had already met some of my instructors that I would have in dental school already. And I had already taken a lot of the courses. So that was just really helpful. It was kind of just a review, because I did the program that summer, applied that summer, and got in and started, that following school year. And so that experience was wonderful. I mean, it was hard, but it was another example of hard doesn't mean impossible. So that's one thing I had learned and continue to learn even now. Hard does not mean stop, like you said. It doesn't mean it's impossible. So it was hard. I own a business now, but I would still say to this day that dental school is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. It was literally blood, sweat, and tears. So, but I had a great support system. I had wonderful classmates who became friends. I had a wonderful administration who supported us, a great mentor. My mentor told me from day one, if you don't seek me out, I will come and find you. So she made sure I had what I needed and that I was doing what I needed to do to succeed. And so that experience, it was hard, but God already told me, okay, I'm going to bless you with this, but that doesn't mean it'll be easy for you. So I started preparing ahead of time for that. So when those times came, I kind of knew what to do. And so aside from that, it was a wonderful experience, So yeah.
And so that experience leading up into dental school, I know you said your relationship with God got stronger because of that. And then I'm sure in dental school as well, you had to lean on God. So what did that teach you about trusting in God? Both of those experiences.
It taught me to trust in God and have faith in his promises, because I knew he told me, okay, this is what I have for you. I knew he put that desire in my heart for a reason. So I knew that it would happen, because his promises always remain true. They remain true. And so that helped me when I had those times of just, I'm tired. Like, I'm just ready to be in my program. My friends are doing it. It was hard to see. Honestly, my friends were already doing what they wanted to do, but it also motivated me to keep going towards my goal. And so it just taught me to lean into him and trust him, because I couldn't do it on my own. And to have patience, because I prayed for patience, but when you pray for something, you have to be tested and go through some things. And so he definitely did that. But that patience is something that I have that now. I use that today. So it taught me all those things. So I'm grateful.
That's amazing. And then so after dental school was over, did life look like how you planned? What was it like after dental school?
No, not right out of dental school. So after graduating, I went right into practicing as an associate. And I was just 2 months in and I was miserable at first. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. And so I really, I started second guessing, like, God, you told me this is what you wanted me to do. Why, was I wrong? Did I misread it? What is going on? Because I'm not happy. I dreaded going into work, honestly.
Wow.
And I had only been out for 2 months. And I said, hey, I have all these student loans to pay back. What's going on? Like, this has to work. But he showed me, it's not the dentistry. I enjoy doing the dentistry. It's my environment. So there were some internal things going on. So as far as the administrative side, the management side, that were kind of making me feel like that. It wasn't the dentistry. So he said, he told me, that you're doing the right thing. This is what I have for you. I want you to be this dentist, and I actually want you in this position where you are now, because I want you to learn from it and grow from it. And I did. And that prepared me for ownership later on. And so moving forward from there, I went to an office where I was the only dentist. I went from an office where there were 3 of us to being by myself after just graduating a few months ago. So that was hard. I was afraid, but it built my confidence, and it showed me, hey, I could do this. And so I started thinking I could do this for myself. And so I always knew I wanted to own, but I didn't think I would be looking into ownership after just a year of graduating. But being there just gave me that confidence and that boost to go for it.
That you could do it on your own. I love what you mentioned about how when you got out of dental school and you start working in it, you start to kind of second guess yourself because it was tough. And I think a lot of times we can do that. Like, we know God called us to something, but when we get close to it or actually in it, we're like, okay, is this what he really told me to do? And so I think that's just encouraging for those who are watching, that when you're close to something or when you're in the midst of it and it doesn't look glamorous or doesn't look easy or how you thought it was going to look, don't let that sway you from doing what you know that God has called you to do, because it will be tough, but that's okay. That's part of the journey, right? So I'm glad that you kept going, because now you have your own practice.
Yes.
Serenity Family Dentistry.
Yes.
So tell us about that practice. Like, what was it like starting your own practice?
It was scary, but I mean, it's been wonderful. I gained a lot of experience, like I said, as an associate. It showed me, okay, you can do this. And it also showed me that I was blessed with a great education at UNC Chapel Hill, because looking into dental schools, I didn't know if I wanted to go back to UNC or if I wanted to go somewhere else, but I fasted and prayed because I knew I was going from not getting into dental school. I knew ahead of time that I would be in a position where I had to choose where I wanted to go. And so I prayed, fasted, meditated on all of that. And so when that time came, I went to UNC, and then fast forward, I'm off by myself, and I'm saying, okay, UNC, I got a great education, and I'm not sure if I would have been as prepared had I had gone to the other programs I was looking into. I don't know, but I know I got that from UNC, and so that really just helped me with what I'm doing now. And then the ownership, it's been amazing. I wouldn't go back. So it's tough, of course. Any small business owner, you go through things, but it's worth it. And all the things I went through getting to this point have prepared me for it. Because again, hard does not mean impossible. Right. It's not easy. Right. And so, but it's worth it.
It's worth it, yeah. So how do you hear from God when making decisions that has to do with your practice?
Ooh, sometimes it's tough because I'm one where I'm quick to pick up a phone and call somebody. I'll call, I'll call, and I've had to learn, okay, go to God first before, he puts wise counsel in your life. I have wonderful, friends who I can go to and talk about things, but I've learned, go to him first. Yeah. Pray first before you pick up that phone or start trying to figure it out on your own, because it's in his strength. It's not mine.
It's so true.
I can't do it by myself. I know this is, been tested. I've tried. Yeah. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So
I think that the more that we go to God, the more that we hear his voice. So I love what you said about going to God first. The more that we get into the habit of that, it's like, okay, well, I know what my Father will tell me to do because I know him more. And it is so easy to go to friends and family, which is okay, and it has its place. But I love what you said about going to God first. That's some great advice. So I want to touch on something that you told me before in the past. So with owning your own practice and being a young Black female, you face a little bit of opposition because of that. Could you share a little bit about what that experience is?
Well, in my experience, I've had different situations that I wasn't necessarily prepared for, where I feel that, sometimes because I'm a woman or I'm young, I'm older than I appear, but I'm young, and also being African American, I feel sometimes I have to kind of prove myself a little bit more, or kind of walk on eggshells a little bit to make other people feel comfortable, even when I'm the one who's kind of in a position where I'm being wronged or not treated the way I feel I should be from a business standpoint, and just dealing with different vendors, people you deal with as a business owner. And so I have experienced that, and I was taken aback by it, but it's really helped me to just become stronger and speak up for myself and say, okay, this is what I need. Can you do it? Can you do it in this time frame? If you can't, I need to look elsewhere. So the expectation is already there.
Gotcha.
Because I'm very laid back, nice, easy going, but sometimes people take advantage of it.
Right.
And so I've just had to learn how to find that middle ground and still be me,
right,
but make sure that things get done the way they should, and not feel like I'm being treated differently or have to, change what I believe and how I feel to fit into what others think.
Right. And I'm sure because you took over a practice, right? So they were older than you, the people there. So I'm sure they thought, a little different working with someone younger than them. And people can subconsciously treat someone a certain way and not even realize that they're doing it. So I love what you said about how you have overcome it by just being stronger, and it's made you a stronger person. It's only going to continue to make you stronger.
Right.
So that's awesome. So as you continue to just grow in your practice, what are your goals for the future? What do you have coming up?
Okay, so I've been at my practice for 3 years now. Moving forward, I'm looking into a second practice. I'm hoping to have that going by the end of the month. So that's next, which has always been the goal. I wanted to own more than one practice, and so the second one's coming up. And it's just, time is flying by, but it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm enjoying what I do.
Great.
And the goal, after that is to own other practices and just grow, but still be able to be involved with what's going on in my practices, which is what I learned from associateships. Always be involved with it. So that's next. I'm really hoping that I can do a nonprofit at some point, something to mentor other kids, because like I said, my mom is the one who said, hey, why not be the dentist? I didn't see anybody that looked like me. So I want to create something for the youth where they can see people that look like them and explore the different opportunities and things that they're interested in and learn about it, and also be in it and see, that, okay, I can do this.
I love that. So. I love that. Okay, well, I know that great things are going to happen for you. The best is yet to come. So one question that I like to ask all of our guests is, in the midst of the journey that you've been on, who do you see yourself becoming?
I see myself becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable. My journey has been a journey of being stretched, being uncomfortable with the current situation, but I've learned through those experiences that when I was stretched, that's when I grew. And so being comfortable with that and embracing it ahead of time is what I'm really working toward now, because I see how far I've come and everything's brought me through. And in those times, it was uncomfortable. So I'm just trying to grow and become okay with that. So
which is not easy.
It's not.
Being uncomfortable. A lot of times we equate uncomfortability with maybe being in the wrong place. But that's not the case. And you shared something with me before that you heard a pastor say that opportunity equals opposition. Is that what it was?
Yes, that a lot of times when you have opportunity is met with opposition, and basically a lot of times it goes hand in hand, but not to be afraid of that. Right. It's a part of the journey.
Right.
And go for it.
Yeah, that's so true. It's tough, but it's so true. And you are a true testament of going for it. Thank you. So if you could encourage someone watching today who has gone through a similar journey as you, or maybe just starting out in dentistry or another practice, what would you encourage them? How would you encourage them?
I would encourage them to just go for it. If you're thinking about going to school, going back to school, changing careers, if you have a business idea you're interested in, go for it. Don't be afraid of it. I think a lot of times we think, okay, it's the enemy attacking us or people that are stopping us from accomplishing our goals, when a lot of times it's really us. It's internal. We limit ourselves because of fear a lot of times. Fear of the unknown, fear of not being good enough, fear of failure. But you have to just take that and use it as energy and put it towards what you're trying to do. So I would say go for it, because we can dream all day, but a dream is just a dream unless you put action behind it. So I would say if God put it on your heart, to go for it and just research it, learn as much as you can, and do it.
That's so true. That's such good advice. So encouraging. But where can people find you? What is your website or social media?
Okay, so it's Serenity Family Dentistry. The website is serenityfamilydental.com. You can also reach us by phone 704-365-0006.
Okay.
And just check out our website.
Okay.
You know, we treat families. We do it all. We're it's family dentistry.
What about Instagram or Facebook?
Yes, we do have an Instagram and Facebook page under Serenity Family Dentistry. So definitely check us out there.
Nice. Okay. And Tameka is my dentist as well. Whenever I am in town, I go to her, and her and her whole team are amazing. So,
Thank you.
well, your story was amazing, and I thank you so much for just coming on the show. And I know that you have great things in store for you, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing Tameka's story. I pray that it was a blessing to you as much as it was a blessing to me, and I look forward to seeing you become all that God has created you to be. Thank you for watching.